Okay, all right, guys, we are here in episode 180 of Shackled City. What's going on, everybody? I just realized I still have some small edits to make real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Good times. Good times.
Hey, do we want to talk about how I'm still Klaus on the promotion image?
Yes. Yeah. That's another thing for me to note. But it's going to change, by the way. We're getting overlay updates and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff.
You can still be Klaus.
Yeah, I'll just be Klaus
We miss
forever.
him.
It's fine.
Yeah.
What is that noise?
Souls of the lost and forgotten.
That's what it sounded like. Oh, I realize why now. All my cameras borked. Zoom. Gotta love Zoom. Okay, all right. So folks, it's been a little bit since we played.
Yep.
That's all right. What happened last time we played?
Oh, last time we played, if I remember correctly, just like every other time, boys and girls, I believe we got our chains, we got our locks, and we got shackled in for tonight's Shackled recap.
Yeah, is that so?
Okay, so the last session, it all started with a coffee farm. And,
Landed a tree.
yeah.
Red, is your computer still making noise?
No, I have a fan blowing on it right now. So
On-
that's what's making. Yeah.
On your computer or on your mic?
No, not on my mic.
Okay,
It's just picking it up.
What? Do me a solid, bro. Go to push to talk. Thank you, I appreciate that. It's something about making your audio sound like it's through a fish tank. It's super bizarre to me. Thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, Cort's he's in a way, and we're all shackled in and stuff. Get shackled, everyone groans. I mean, I'm not groaning. I kind of missed it. I had to sit in the bathroom the last time we played. Or tried to play, for that matter. So, folks, what can you recall?
What I can recall in this old noodle noggin of mine, had 3 dead friends, and life was looking up. Strong investments.
Okay.
3 writs of credit all to myself, and I was like, don't really need the money at the moment. So, as Rahk, Cort, and Jakob were, Rahk, Jakob, and Thelsa were petrified and effectively dead. Ulhime ended up seeking out some help, and he ended up meeting up with Nab the Torn, who had the ability to help him with this issue. There was a deal that had to be made, for better or for worse. Nab the Torn and Ulhime, with the moderator of Mephistopheles, I believe is his name, came to some terms where the 3 of them would be brought back. Nab would relinquish control of Occipitus as well as the Smoking Eye.
Okay.
And Ulhime would give up his arm, the right arm, which held the power of the worm that walks.
Yes.
And then there was a final request, or not a request, a final part of the terms where Ulhime would have to fulfill one favor of Nab the Torn at any given point. As long as he called it in, he would have to do it without question. Ulhime agreed, realizing that the terms obviously weren't stacked anywhere in his favor, but he wanted to make sure that his friends wouldn't be stuck in stone for the rest of their lives. Cort, on the other hand, not doing so hot. He was bleeding out pretty bad, and Guild-Frey Silverlight was kind enough to literally stitch him back together after being cleaved in half by Rahk's Earthbreaker. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. From there, we ended up finding out that he was at Jenya's, and he wasn't doing too well. He had this like unusual growth on the side of him, and when it was cut open eventually, we realized that he was disintegrating slowly.
What caused it? What caused this?
This was Jacob's I want to call it an augmentation to Alicast. We had realized that there was something on it that had an inscription. I have it right here. Give me just a second. It said, if he should be worthy, give him the powers of... No, I'm just kidding. That's not what it said. It said, whoever holds the scythe, if he should be worthy, grant him the powers of Mavlator.
Yeah? Is that so?
No. It says, when duality is discovered, a neutral tether unbinds.
And
That's
most
what
of
we
you
had
guys
found
actually, you guys sat in call for a while and talked about that. It was actually
We sat in call. We had like
3 hours.
16, we had 16 people trying to figure out what the fuck it meant.
Yeah.
Kind of went back and forth on it. Not really sure like how it ended up, but we had our own interpretations of it.
Yeah.
But that inscription was embedded. The last part of the inscription was embedded into Cort, which the last part is unbinds. And we kind of came to the conclusion that possibly part of the scythe might be stuck in him because the only part, like we saw the scythe go into the ground, but we don't know if the scythe actually, the blade broke off into the floor or if it broke off into Cort. And if it did, its magic is probably unbinding him because we perceive him as a neutral party,
right.
Or in this case, his alignment is something of neutrality. It's not infernal or celestial. And that's where we kind of left off. I mean, we've had some other tasks that were being done. We're actually getting the people fed and cured. Balthar came back and he gave us a shit ton of grain with assistance to start harvesting again. And then we still might have some help coming from Sasserine and Red Gorge. We haven't been given 100% word on that yet, but the first wave of assistance has come in on his end. But we ended off trying to figure out what the fuck is going on with Cort.
There's definitely, I believe it was 5 mothers and fathers from Sasserine coming to populate the church here since everyone had fled.
Correct.
Yes. I don't know if it's mothers and fathers. I think it was a mixture between the sons and daughters and the mothers and fathers of the temple itself.
A mix of ranks of the temple.
Yeah, just so you guys could usher in proper ranks. You will need... was it stated that there was also going to be a new High Father?
It wasn't stated. We hadn't
It was
gone
a new
over
High
it.
Mother only.
It was a new High Mother only until we had proof that the father was dead or incapable of serving. But it was more so, regardless of what happened in the church, we needed more assistance than what we had. So they were sending reinforcements, essentially.
Okay.
To bring some faith back into Cauldron.
That's right. There's no faith in Cauldron right now, so something's got to exist.
And of course, we're still dealing with the plague going on in the city and the people starving. So
you don't have to throw it in quotes. Like that's a literal thing.
It's a plague.
Needless to say, you guys are dealing with a bit of a plague that is inflicted upon the city. I actually talked last week with viewers about what could have caused that, and well, some people are a bit more aware now. They have some ideas about what it could be, and it's something that I know that you guys forgot about. There's a couple of things actually that it's leading to it, but there's just some stuff that was spaced, largely because there was just more important matters at the table, and that's fine.
Oh, I'm pretty certain it has to do with the fact that, dirty drinking water and everything. It's because they don't have anywhere to put their waste anymore.
I'll go ahead and try and predict the future. I'm going to blame this on snipers.
Why is
Me too.
It's gotta be me.
It's bold of you to assume we forgot about it,
I just
and not that we just don't care.
That's fair. That's fair.
We forgot about it. Is it really that important?
It is now. It is now. Consequences are a thing. Choosing to disregard something
Are you sure?
for any amount of time. Well, I mean, yes, I'm certain. I'm certain that's the case. I can think of a number of times, specifically off the top of my head, where you just didn't do your studying or
look.
homework at the time, and you were like, oh wait, bro, it's D&D now. I gotta go take a midterm.
I was talking mostly about the consequences of like the city dying. You know those.
Oh,
those don't
yeah. That makes sense.
Those don't happen.
But to be honest, I think as players, it is mildly your fault, but it's not necessarily all of your character's faults. I thought back to the reasons, and not all of you are at fault for everything that's happening at the moment, at least all of your current characters.
I
Hell
called
yeah.
dibs. I called dibs and not being at fault.
In fact, one aspect of the reason that the town is under plague is largely due to every one of your previous characters. None of your current characters had a part in it.
And that's how we absolve ourselves of guilt.
Basic, yep, it wasn't us. Good job,
that's
guys.
good.
We solved the problem.
That's good. Seriously, I just got here. Yeah, pretty much. The absolve, yeah, pretty much how it works every time. So, continuing forward. Yeah, you have a bit of a plague. You have a problem. You also know that you did make the trade with Devil Poppy himself. And it's... If I wrote it down here. He wanted an arm, particularly the arm that you had, and one favor that you could not deny. And what you wanted in return was 3 friends returned, which he said he could do. You wanted total control. You wanted owner of Occipitus. I wrote that down. You wanted to be the owner of Occipitus. And you wanted the smoking eye necklace. You got it. So those are yours. You've claimed them. What you intend to do with them, entirely up to you. But you know that immediately afterwards, he went downstairs and he turned everybody back to life with his wish, his once monthly wish that he could do. And then he disappeared. He said he had some things that he had to tend to. You had no idea what that was, but you know that he left immediately. However, he definitely took your arm. There was no pain involved because it was taken through the means of the agreement. But there was a parting message. There was a parting message from one Mephistopheles. What did Meth tell you? What did Meth say in front of your allies? You're muted.
Suck it, nerd.
That part I might have missed, if you can help me remember, because that was pretty far back after all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if... Yeah, I wouldn't know off the top of my head.
Well, he told you for starters that he had to create clauses and put in new laws and rules in place.
Oh, he effectively put in a contingency for the contract, but I don't know if it was a contingency on my end or on Nab's.
Who's to say that Nephthatorin hasn't been pulling strings for a while? That Thelsa wound up with Mephistopheles in town purely because of her own actions.
And they killed his second in command.
Yeah. Who's to say that the second in command wasn't vouching for that seat himself and needed Nephthatorin gone? Now it's just unseated power. Lots of unharnessed evil energy is just flowing.
I just hope Sasha goes and takes it over now. It's her job.
I mean, she knows about it, but what does she have to gain there? A demon army? What does a dragon do with a demon army?
Cause havoc just for the hell of it.
That's
Dragons get bored too.
That's fair. She's just gonna reign over and just pour hellfire down and just soak up all the experience.
Just not on Cauldron. Just
Grind
do it on other
levels.
towns.
Yeah, it's like you guys punching rabbits outside of town trying to level up. That's her over the demon scar laying waste to demons. Okay.
Went from 1 to 20 killing boars.
Now, to keep everybody up to date, in Shackled City and every other production on this channel, you guys can have influence as viewers. You may divvy out gift subs at 5 at a time, and you can guarantee that our players will pick up a luck reroll. It can be seen on the overlay. I'll go ahead and pop that for you there. It looks something like this. See the flashing D20? Yeah, that's what you can do. You can put that on the screen. At a cost of 5 gift subs. It is expensive, but the players do use them. We've had a few sessions where they don't, but then we've had a few sessions where they desperately wish that they could get more. Every time that you gift 10 subs, for any reason, I pick up a luck reroll myself, and I can influence it either for my rolls or the players' rolls simultaneously. Makes things way interesting. Additionally, you can utilize rep, which is gained by beating a bit boss or by contributing through tip. If you do that, you beat a bit boss, we'll divvy out rep. It's always 1/10 of the boss's total health. And there we go, Fish. Coming in first, right there. Subbing in Grish and Kaizo. Gold, Cindaria, and Vance. You picked up the first luck reroll. So it stays on board. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yep, check your rep, and then you can find out what you can spend it on by checking the table. Exclamation mark table, and take that link right there. It is a bit.ly rep table link. So, additionally, it is worth stating that there are clocks in our game. As the players, I'm informing you now that there are multiple clocks on the table. And I have clocks going for the disease and the plague. I have a clock for cleaning up the bathhouse. And I have a clock that was started last session, the last time we played, for stabilizing the people in town from dying. Now, you have a clock today that matters more than anything. The conflict before you, the clock before you, is one dot. It's literally just a circle. You either succeed at this or you don't. And it matters whether or not Cort lives or dies. You see his body is disintegrating from the inside. And it's important that you figure this out. Unless, of course, you want this sad young boy to meet his demise. Thank you so much, Brock, for sent in win. Chaz, Milton, and Naughty Shapes. Appreciate that, buddy. And that's 2 luck rerolls. 1 for me, 2 for you guys.
We get experience if he does.
You get a stuff. And that might be valuable at least to Sniper. He's been bitching about how he doesn't have stuff for a while.
And, well, technically, since I'm the one that killed him, I'd get the experience.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So I have to go coup de grace him to get the experience, right?
Lasted gets the XP.
Technically, if you happen to coup de grace Sniper today, I'll give you both of their experience.
Hey,
It'll just
all right,
lapse over.
cool.
Fireball into the room it is.
Nah, that's too easy.
Oh, this is why I hate you people.
Do we
I'm
get
just gonna-
experience?
I'm just gonna curse him and make him unable to move until he starves to death again.
God damn it.
Easy clap.
I have a sticky note here with at least 7 instances of uses and saves of wild magic. I won't tell you how many times you've been saved, but I will tell you that there are multiple instances of wild magic. Now more
And
than
they're
ever.
all on Whittle.
All right, Will, go blast all of your spells outside real quick. It shouldn't take too long.
That right there strikes terror in our hearts, Karami. I cast Phantasmal Killer on Jacob. If she 2 levels prior can kill an adult dragon, Jacob doesn't stand a fucking chance.
It's down to saves, and he's got rerolls, but it's Jacob, so
Truth. He's got
he's
rerolls.
still gonna reroll 2s into 1s.
I'm still shitty about that. I had a reroll and I still fucked it up, man. 1, 1, and a 2. All I needed was to roll a 3.
Yeah, it went in my favor. That's all that mattered to me. Especially
You
because
will
I can only
find
cast
no
it on
pity
him once.
here. None.
I
Not
get
an
it.
iota.
I get it.
Nothing will ever top the moment of the dice for me as Bub rolling 7 1s.
Yeah,
That
nothing
will
is.
still
On a fucking
that
was
will
lightning-
never get old because he was
incredible.
just so ready to do so much damage.
Oh yeah.
And just
After watching me just abuse the shit out of that spell for session after
just to go like,
session after
oh yeah,
session.
I'm gonna get you
I was
guys,
hoping-
I'm gonna hit you.
I was hoping for the middle range of 21, right? 21. No.
Yeah,
No.
you're like, all right, I'm gonna fuck you up, Sniper.
7
And then
damage.
you see it roll all 1s, and you're just like,
Yeah, that was
you
stupid.
fucking-
It went from something lethal to a bit of like that was like a sexual favor for some. It was fucking ridiculous, man.
so
Yahtzee.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. That night, Sniper figured out how to channel his juju devil magic out of his body into my fucking dice for at least a single round. And thank God. So, I'm gonna grab a water. You goons figure out what you're gonna be doing next. And well, I guess talk amongst yourselves. It'll only take me a second.
So, what's your guys' favorite food in these times? Yeah. It's a conversation.
Well, here's a
Sure
question.
is.
No idea. Hot Pockets.
We left the session at Jenya's.
Yes.
Okay, so we are just aware that, you know,
He's already disintegrating.
yeah.
Yes.
Was Thelsa with you, or did she just stay at the church?
We don't know.
Well, I'm at the church, I guess. I cardboard cutouted and
I believe Bub said you wouldn't be at the church right now for some reason. He had a reason. for
and
it.
I guess I'm with you.
Oh yeah, Karami, you're right. It has to be a wizard. That way, there's more wild magic.
Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on. I'll ask
So-
Bob when he gets back what I'm up
It's
to.
gonna be a magic gunsmith.
So since we're fairly certain that,
I'm
you know,
dying.
we're fairly certain. Well, yeah, you are, but since
Ooh,
we're
you
fairly,
have little faith.
it's us.
But
We
it's
fail.
me.
You know, we succeed through failure. But no, who would we talk to about the staff? You know, about the staff. I mean, the only one who knew anything about it was long dead, and well, Will, you were kind of occupying his body and got hung in it.
Well, there's another body that's being occupied currently that knows about that staff.
Hmm? Who?
Nerve to turn.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. Y'all are just like bound to determine that I'm going to have to talk with my dad.
I
Look,
mean,
you're
it's
gonna
gonna
have to
happen.
talk these daddy issues out. There's only one way.
Bub, you look shocked. Why do you look shocked?
Unless I just did a backflip. I'm putting my money on it.
You just got 1,000 by Brock.
Oh,
Holy shit.
1120. Hey, you know, we're only like 3880 away from Bub in Sailor Moon outfit and necker ears. Just saying.
You stop.
Wait.
You fucking stop it. Shut the fuck up. Look, shake weight. Shut up. What the fuck, Brock? How big is that bit boss? Oh wait, no, he just flat out beat it, didn't he? Just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, how big was the bit boss? I don't even know now. I'm gonna need someone to tell me what that was.
Tell him it was a really high number.
He beat his own bit boss?
Yeah, he wanted to heal it earlier.
How do you... Wait, what? How do you create and beat your own bit boss? That doesn't even make sense.
I think he couldn't heal it, so he wanted to beat it and double down on
It was
HP.
3,100? Was it 3,100? I don't even know.
He said it was 3,100, so
You can overheal a beat boss, but you can't.
A beat boss.
not the beat boss.
You can overheal a bit
What
boss.
the... Okay, oh, what the fuck, Brock?
No. Not a
it
D&D
just healed,
character.
he didn't beat it.
Oh, it just
Beat
it
boss
just
is gonna be
healed.
my
Okay,
next
all right,
character.
so you just healed it.
Just FYI.
Lord almighty, that's nuts. Thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, my guy. That's huge. I'll go ahead and unlock another luck reroll for that at the very least, because that's literally like that's nuts. Holy shit.
Well, at least we know somebody got their stimulus check.
Cause I fucking haven't.
Brock is
Oh
good
man,
now.
what a
He's
guy,
like, I'm a-
dude.
He's like, I'm gonna stimulate that dick. Ding.
Oh,
Wow. Wow. Is that what works for you, Sniper?
0 to 100.
Jesus.
Come on, bub. Let's be honest. You saw that much money rolling through the scan, you know, rolling across the screen, and you were kind of like on the bottom of your desk.
I mean, a little, but can I have that unlock? Yes, you can. I'll take a reroll for that as well. Of course, of fucking course. Yeah,
Yeah, you can unlock a reroll. Want a handy too?
I've got 2.
You know,
Thank you.
I'm a spit on it.
You were the fucking worst.
Whip out that. Whip out
Stop!
that.
Just
great-
stop it! You just stop it! You stop it! I'll fucking take away your senior citizens card at fucking Cracker Barrel. Seriously, stop it.
My man's over here trying to make a fucking brand new recipe for sawmill gravy.
No shit. Oh God.
I had to break the moment.
Thank you, Brock. Seriously, thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. That's huge, especially in this time. Super grateful. I was just gonna come back and show you guys that I've been telling people that I've been trying to work out at home, and then someone sent me a shake weight.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I swear to God, chat, if you guys fucking bring up Honey Nugs again, this session is not going anywhere. And somehow even slower than normal.
We're repeating our 15 feet in 6 hours.
God almighty. How far we've come since then.
You guys were just babies then.
It was 15 feet horizontally, but we traveled like at least 100 feet vertically during that
you wanna
session.
know something fucked up about that time?
I mean, yeah.
You guys, Will, you were still in high school.
I fucking was, yeah.
Bro, you're out of college in a full-time job.
I have a bachelor's degree now.
It's been so long. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Why? Chat, come on, a different meme.
Good Lord.
Honey Nugs forever. It's shackled in now.
Yeah.
Got him.
Bub feels too young. It's wild. Yeah,
Honey
I'm good.
Nugs is out. It's now Nunny Hugs.
Oh God.
No, I'm not okay with this either. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit.
At least when I showed up, you guys were in college. You know.
Yeah, that makes it okay. I don't know what you're like. Where are you leading that?
I guess we could thank your parole officer for that one, huh?
That's fucking good. God damn it, that was good.
It kept me from going back to jail.
That's some fucking funny shit. Oh.
You know, had you been in high school, I'd have had to back out.
That was a good belly laugh right there. I needed that. Thank you, Will. I appreciate that. So, what are you guys doing? What's happening in game?
Bleeding out on a table.
Well, since time is a factor, and it seems like
Can I gurgle?
you can gargle whatever you want, baby.
No. Oh.
Fish. How do you do this? How? Does he
Where
kill
is
the
his off
mood?
button?
Does he kill the mood? I bet he kills the mood. I bet it just starts getting all warmed up and he says something fucked up and it's just like poof. Straight trip to fucking no boner zone, period. It's where boners go to die is when he opens his mouth. It has to be. How? You say some fucked up shit and I know you do it intentionally.
I want to comment, but I, at the same time, don't, because
She will hit you. You know she will hit you. I can tell it's something about this.
No, you guys got to remember, she does jujitsu.
Okay,
she won't hit me.
She'll hit the
will
fuck out of
fucking
you.
Break me. You know, she is going. You know, she'll go full Dolph Lundgren. I must break him.
That's scary, but kind of hot, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't
Is it
think
though?
about it that way.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You guys just fucked up from watching Rocky too many times.
Well, I mean, I don't get fucking randy from watching Rocky. I just like a challenge, but apparently Dolph Lundgren's it's his kink or something.
You can't look at sweaty Dolph Lundgren.
Fish, I'm
It's
curious.
not-
Like, I don't know if this is breaching too far, but did homie like give you a pair of like Dolph Lundgren's matching boxing shorts? did he hook you up with some gloves?
Say it
Fuck
again.
me up.
Say it again. He does. He does.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. The secret's out. I can't pop wood without hearing Rocky references. Okay.
Okay, well, note to self.
She
don't
quotes
ever do
the
that again.
entire movie the whole time.
Don't ever no.
I was gonna make an Adrian joke, but I feel like it's just out of place.
Ugh.
I've been discouraged.
He's killing you, Rock. He's killing you. Oh, anyway, but I think the consensus is pretty much that Jacob's got to see his dad.
Is that what everybody thinks? You guys should go to Nabdatorn immediately because you don't know where he's at.
I have a question for you, bub.
Okay.
Where am I?
Live from New York. It's Saturday night.
That changes everything. I think you were walking away. Your intentions were to... Oh, you went back to the bathhouse.
Okay,
You guys were just reconvening at that point from the bathhouse.
because Thelsa's plan is to work on the church, but I wasn't here last session, so I don't know what Thelsa did.
Okay. We had assumed that you would have gone to the not the bathhouse. Or no, yeah, you had gone to the bathhouse. We thought that you might go to the temple, but the temple itself is in so much disrepair. There's very little that you can do. So we had talked about you going to hire people to actually help you and do for new mason work and stuff like that. So
I'm looking around.
yeah, you are looking around. But we didn't have you do anything from there. You have that option today. I'm curious, does anybody go back and tell Thelsa about Cort?
I mean, at this point, yeah. I mean, if we need to figure out if there are people that can stave off this issue, then yeah. I mean, getting our friends involved is probably the first thing we would do.
Okay, then let's assume that. Let's assume, because we'd ended the session right with you guys more or less seeing him, I don't want to say like, his insides basically burped out of this wound that you guys exsanguinated, right? Like you cut it open and you kind of bled him out. It wasn't even all just blood. It was mostly pus, mostly like bile and backup. Some thick part of some disintegrated organs, and you would spend a lot of time trying to figure out exactly what it meant to unbind. But you might be on the right track with your thoughts. However, if you are going to leave and head back, then let's assume that. Let's assume that you guys had gone back to speak specifically to Thelsa. And that's where you've gone. Is everybody okay with that? Rahk and not Cort, excuse me, Jakob?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay. Then
Before he takes off, I would ask if I could have him leave the staff with me to see if it changes. Because kind of thinking back on Klaus holding it and then him, it's changed twice already. So I don't know if me being more celestial aligned will have another effect on it.
okay, I mean, it's up to him. It's technically his current weapon, so if he chooses to leave it with you, then great. If not, then so be it.
Yeah.
Not just my current weapon, it's my only weapon. These are dangerous times, Ulhime. What would you have me do?
I don't know. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that we can do to help him. I don't know if it changing hands would change the effect or not. For now, I'll try to maintain him here, but go and grab Thelsa then.
Curious,
We'll do our best.
for what purpose do you have for staying here at the moment?
Just to see if I can help try to keep him as comfortable as possible. And also, I'm not as fast as them, so I'm going to be falling behind as well.
Sure.
That, and he's missing an arm, so he's kind of off balance, so he'll keep running into walls while we run along.
Not sure that's how that works, but let you run on that for a while. So we will. We'll pass this back. This will go to Jakob and to Rahk. Is there any conversation that the two of you would like to have before you make it back to the bathhouse to explain to Thelsa that your friend is literally disintegrating?
Nothing from Jakob because, well, he's got more than enough on his mind at the moment. And he's still trying to decompress and process and all that. And, well, Rahk kind of doesn't like him as far as Jacob's concerned.
Yeah, I mean, as we travel in relative silence, Rahk will likely turn to Jakob and just say, "Did you have to break the scythe off in him? Was that necessary?"
At this point, neither of you are actually aware if the scythe broke off into his body. It's just a guess.
At the time, it was the only option that I had. I I'd imbued it with power to pass through flesh. It was supposed to only hit the Wraith. I don't know why it hit into him as well. For all we know, it was the Ankh. Drove that through his ass too.
There are magics beyond our understanding. That's to be certain.
Well, it certainly doesn't help that I'm toting around something from supposedly Occipitous.
Our worlds have seemed to have merged so much at this point that I don't know it's possible to escape it.
Never thought I'd go ahead and miss the teenager.
Is this something I should know?
The previous wielder. The way we came across this staff is it was in possession of a body he inhabited for a time.
This sounds mightily confusing.
Long story short, he was the embodiment of the first spark. Every time he died, he would move through vessels. His latest vessel was... Somebody help me with the name.
Cerebar Spellmason. Jesus Christ.
Cerebar Spellmason, greatest magi alive. This was Cerebar Spellmason's staff before it came into my hands, and and we're all pretty sure that it was my father. Are we aware that it was Naphtatorin that killed Klaus?
Are you aware that it is?
Yeah, I can't remember if we're aware of that.
I don't know if that's been revealed. I'm not actually sure if that's been revealed yet.
I don't think it has.
Yeah. And at this point, we're still unsure where he's at. Normally, when he dies, he comes back. Apparently, we broke the cycle. Somehow. Ergo, I'm stuck with this staff that apparently likes to melt young boys. Men. Knights.
You could have phrased that differently.
These are strange times, Rahk. These are strange times. Suffice it to say, let's hope Thelsa has some idea as to what to do. She's as versed in magics as I am.
Then we must really be in trouble.
Now, look here. I might not be good at a lot. I might not be the most moral character around. I might be this... Okay.
I'm waiting for the good part.
But I know my shit when it comes to magic. I am extremely well educated there.
Given the current situation, I'll take that one down for review later.
Hey, I don't judge you on poetry.
Feel free to. It's not my profession. As much as I may like it to be.
Seriously, you read as much as a dwarf.
Seems a little racially inclined, but you know what? For once it's not directed at me, so I'll take it.
Why do you think they're so short?
I would ask, but we're nearing Thelsa now, and frankly, I don't need to be focusing on you when she's talking.
All right.
I'm both curious in game and out of game where you were going with that dwarf statement in their reading.
Actually, I was making a reference.
This is a callback to one of your older racial jokes.
Keep going.
Yeah. It's a rollback to why dwarves are so short, because they read so much.
Okay, so
it made absolutely no sense then. It still makes no sense now.
Okay, all right. Is
I
Cort...
can't believe you remember that, but you can't remember Serbar fucking Spellmason.
Additionally, the fact that
God.
you roleplayed with a character for 100 sessions and you couldn't remember that he was actually the third Spark.
Yeah.
Checks out. How? Never mind.
It
I'm just
also
gonna stop
doesn't help
asking.
that right now I'm really high.
In game?
Yeah.
No. New drugs.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Has that been going on for the past like 80 sessions or something? That would explain so much.
120
Oh my
actually.
No, I've only been doing these for about 5 days now. So I'm still in the leveling out phase.
Fun.
Well, you'll arrive at the bathhouse with a strange bit of discourse. It wasn't the most settling of conversations, but somehow you still felt mildly informed. Jakob is more than busy. Constantly has something running on his mind. Rahk is still trying to find his place inside of Cauldron. That being said, you're still somehow working together. Now, Thelsa, you hear conversation from within inside the bathhouse. It's not very hard. Jakob has a voice that carries, and he's also notoriously loud. You can hear him speaking. In fact, he seems to be defending something or making some snide racial remark, though you're not entirely sure. But you got a sneaking suspicion that it's him.
Yeah. Since I was coming in here to try and acquire some information about the people of this town, because I know that Ulhime had written some stuff down, I would be looking to try and find where the Masons are, because typically before now I wasn't really informed with it. And I know that there's some kind of logs from the guild's hall.
Okay. All right. So where in that time, where were you looking? Because you guys technically haven't really succeeded in making it a guild hall yet. You're still building.
Yep. Just whatever his quarters are or where he spends the most time. I figure he wouldn't have thrown it down in the basement.
No. It's probably amidst his belongings. So you're going to rifle through his stuff?
Yeah, but not really trying to pay attention to his personal belongings. Like, I don't really want to know about his personal life. I just need to know where the Masons are, and I just didn't want to have to go deal with Cort.
Yeah. Well, let's
That ledger and stuff would most likely be like in the main office where where the Stonehavens usually kept all their documents. I wouldn't have moved that.
Okay, let's take a looky here. Nope. Do you oh, there we go. You do have on your person documents for the materials of the bathhouse.
Yeah, that was the first writ that I had. If you're talking about like the Spellmason, the Stonemason ledger, that I don't carry on.
No,
that's just
it's
in
not
the
that.
office.
That's not necessarily going to help anyway. Most of that stuff
Okay.
was vacated or removed.
Okay.
What you will find is going through his things, which admittedly he doesn't have much. He lives pretty simply. You wouldn't be surprised finding that a lich of some sort doesn't really have much in the way of material suspect and desires. But you will find that there are some documents for materials for the bathhouse. You actually see that he's put in a requisition for goods. Some of it is moving locally, but it appears that they are like a third party that's operating to acquire goods from another city, since most of the stock itself has been relieved, and they're trying to go through as much of a building phase as they can. So he happened to get in most of his orders before this went down, which means that there are a significant amount of requests going out to other cities. And it looks like it goes back to the Mavus. I'm not sure if you can recall meeting them previously, but has your character met the Mavus?
I don't believe Thelsa's ever been to Mavus before.
Okay. But there is a tertiary enterprise that operates inside of of Cauldron, and they seem to be a mover of sorts. They find buyers, they acquire goods to sell. Rarer goods probably has something to do with how you guys wound up with all that extra money.
Yeah, it would make sense. Oh, actually, I had been to Mabu's once, but it was to go with Ulhime to get the writ and then take the gold to the bank, and that was it.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
But that was the only, like, I don't even think I talked with anyone there. I was just a hand to carry the gold.
So were you even allowed in the office then?
Nope.
Okay.
They brought the gold out onto the counter and we took it to the bank.
All right, then you'll have to file that away, because now this is where we see the introduction of their characters. Rahk and Jakob both enter. I'm assuming that you tuck his things back away.
Yeah, I would try and put them back in the way that I found them.
Not super hard. He doesn't have much, so even then, with as many people have been staying in that room, it's very, very easy for him to just assume that someone bumped something. So, by all means, they enter. You exit the rear staging, the possible room of sleeping, if you will. And there they are. The bickering has stopped. Or so I thought. Keep going. No, this is good.
Look, all I'm saying is they're so short because they need to be down close to where the books are.
Do you find most of your books on the floor?
No, but whenever I'm reading a book, generally I have to take a seat, or if I'm, sitting down cross-legged, something like that. And the fact that I am taller and have more spine means that I tend to get backaches. Because they read so much, they've gone ahead and just grown shorter. It's not as much of a problem.
Thelsa just kind of stopped in the doorway, like, befuddled by what she's witnessing.
Sure.
It's a genetic predisposition.
Do you realize how much I've had to read to become a linguist as I am?
Yes, and I bet you suffer incredible backaches.
Doesn't stop me from swinging my hammer, if you hadn't noticed.
Well, no, that doesn't help, but, you could call it general exercise and stretching.
I don't know where to begin with you. So I won't. Thelsa.
Yes. I don't... yes. What is it?
We're having a problem with Cort.
A problem?
Well, one would assume that it's a problem. The boy's melting from the inside.
Gross.
Very.
Melting
And-
how?
Well, that's
What color is it?
Pussy, a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of stink, a little bit of stank. But no, his internal organs are breaking down. And at this point, he'll kind of spin the staff and, hold it out to her. We think this is it. While we were having our tussle with the Wraith, I hit him, and we think I might have broken him.
So, this weapon of yours caused him to disintegrate internally.
We're thinking that's a possibility. At this point, he'll go ahead and sidle up and start pointing out at the infernal text. If you'll notice, when I was doing my thing, and pumping all of my energies into it, this changed. It used to be in Celestial, and now it's not. But yeah, trying to read it, it was actually a whole series of language. Regardless, we're thinking this might have changed in some way or manner. I mean, before it was just a really powerful staff for Klaus and now it's just a really long, scythe for me, and I think I might have turned it into something else. Suffice it to say, I'm not as knowledgeable in the whole angelic embodiments of war thing. We were hoping you could maybe take a look and, well, give us your thoughts.
Well, I can tell that there's engravings in it, and I don't know the language, but if it's magical, I could try and read it.
Oh, it's magic as fuck.
I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna step closer and put my hands out to take the scythe. And may I?
It's not there.
You left it with.
No.
Ulhime said he was taking it.
No, Ulhime asked if he, if I could leave it, and I said no, because it's the only weapon I got.
Oh. Well, that was a very simple ask. I guess I just didn't pick that up. That's my bad. Continue on.
No, that's okay.
May I?
By all means.
I'm gonna take it in my hands, and I'm gonna try and cast read magic, I guess, on myself, and see if there's anything written in some sort of magical language.
Sure. Go ahead and roll me a D1000.
I figured that was coming.
Please tell me. Oh, she cast it on herself. Okay.
Yeah, it's cast on myself, not on the staff, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. Bizarre. Very bizarre.
How bizarre. How bizarre.
Where you're typically thinking that your your eyes are supposed to pale over. You're used to this sort of mild radiance that strikes over your vision, and as you peer down over the magic, nothing seems to change. However, the staff itself seems to become a bit smaller. And then when you look to Rahk and Jakob, you notice that they too are becoming slightly smaller, and you look down to yourself and you can hear the threads on your clothing starting to pull and break. Splits and tears before you are increasing in size. Whatever clothing you happen to have upon yourself is destroyed. It is shredded through.
I'm gonna turn around as this is beginning to happen.
As you begin to turn around, your body continues to grow further. You see the ceiling is quickly closing its gap upon you, and you don't know how large you're going to be. You know that this could be very dangerous.
Yes, and I'm very, very uncomfortable with it.
What did the two of you do, seeing this before? That's Jakob and Rahk.
No. I thought you were talking about some other two.
Well, seeing as she starts growing, he's going to be a little perplexed, and then when things start popping off, he's going to be like, "Oh damn," and like turn around and stare at Rahk and be like,
I mean, I'd like to say I go full Rita Repulse and just make my monster grow, but it's probably not realistic, you know.
Probably super not. No.
So yeah, I'll turn around and give her some the decency of privacy.
So you begin backing up, right?
Yeah.
You begin backing up. Okay, then what do you do here, Thelsa? Do you just scrunch down?
Yeah, I just keep scrunching until if I begin to grow to the point where I can't anymore, I'll make some moves to get out of the immediate area. But I know
After-
at least with enlarged person, you can only grow to the limit of the room you're in.
Correct.
But
After the
God,
moment you begin realizing
just
this is
picturing-
happening, and your body is beginning to elongate and stretch, and you're just growing in proportion all around as your body begins to fill the room. The two back up, but your body doesn't stop. And you notice that crouching down's not enough. You can now feel your back pressing the roof. The ceiling is now tickling your spine, sir.
I am gonna remember a particular tree that I passed through on my way to Sassarine,
Okay?
just somewhere in the center of the forest, away from everything.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say, "Be right back," which is probably gonna be significantly more terrifying than it is intended to sound. And I'm gonna cast teleport and try and make it out of here
Okay.
and into a place not filled with people, since
You
I'm
got it.
naked.
You got it. Give me another D1000.
I'm just hearing Andre the Giant. Be right back.
768. Interesting. Okay, let's see what we got here. If you're curious, that spell was Size of the Behemoth. That's what the spell was technically called. Oh my god.
Little did I know, I
is-
teleported to the Death Scar.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. All right. You
And before permanency.
You actually do teleport. The problem is, you take your allies with you.
Oh fuck.
You teleport yourself and your immediate allies within 20 feet of you to whatever the destination is that you're going to. So, Size of the Behemoth and teleport. You actually rolled onto teleport.
That's pretty neat.
You know how
But-
often that happens? It doesn't. It doesn't happen. You cast teleport and roll teleport on the wild magic chart. So it was more than just yourself. It was actually a group teleport. You pulled yourself as you appear in front of this tree, as you know exactly where it has been. Your body continues to shift. And even them backing up is not merely enough as they look around, noticing that they are in the forest with you. And your hand begins to slide up the tree as you shift from large to huge to gargantuan. And now your head is peeking over the top of the trees. The two of you, down at the floor bottom, this is the largest woman you have ever seen in your life.
That's a huge bitch. Now I can just imagine it. You know, their surroundings warp, twist, and change. All of a sudden, they're in the darkness, and poor Jacob, he's just looking around and looks up at Thelsa, and he's like, "Oh, nice wax job." Oh, fuck. Oh.
Your first spell cast was targeted by Cammy Cat. The second spell
Thanks,
target
Carrie.
was Broccoline.
Thelsa, where are we?
I can't hear you.
Oh, did I mute?
No. My head is out like 3 miles above you right now.
It's not quite that far. It's
3
like
miles is excessive. But
it's like 50 feet. It's like 50 feet up at this point.
Yeah, he's not exactly being quiet. He knows that she's OAs.
Can I get a perception, the three of you?
there's never anything good that follows. Can I get a perception?
Yeah,
I see
especially
it.
from me.
Okay.
I rolled a fucking 2.
I can see everything from up here.
Not as bad as I thought. Okay, I'll take it.
Okay. Okay.
Uh-oh.
oh,
Don't
oh.
tell me it's the people that are coming from Zazzarine that are just like, oh.
Oh, I was actually thinking more like the snake, but
The snake can be my pet now.
The seed
Okay.
spitting snake.
Okay, here we go. So Thelsa, standing out in front of the forest at this point, your head is above the trees. And as you hear the echoes of your ally below yell up at you, your eyes kind of wander around as you've never quite seen it from this sort of perspective. Now the world has shrunk to you, and you can actually see it from a giant's foray. An actual giant, not one of these hill giants, but we're talking like cloud level. You are enormous. And as you peer down, your eyes sort of wander off, and you can see all of Cauldron, the town itself. It doesn't seem that large, which is why it would probably be easy for the first flame to attack and do it without any discourse whatsoever. When everything is that small, it's just like smashing or smoting out an anthill. But as your eyes wander, you peer off, and in the distance, there is the coming parsonage. It is those coming from your church. You recognize the colors of the tapestries that dress the wagon. They're not that far. You see one of their arms shoot up immediately, and as you turn to abut their gaze, you follow the road up and you kind of pull your hand to the side and sort of crouch down, and when your eyes turn, there is a different one-armed man, and riding next to him on a horse is a boy. You recognize both of them immediately.
Riding away from town?
They're currently stopped, looking directly at you. Chobbs has his mouth completely agape. We're talking jaw to the horse. And Marion is incredibly confused. He's just blinking fervently, not even sure what to do. He wants to reach over, but as you see him lean, it's with the missing arm. So you just hear, "Go, boy, go! Move, now!" And Chobbs is like,
No, I'm good.
yes, he suddenly deepens his VS. His testicles drop right then. We know now.
Kill the poor horse.
We know now that Sniper no longer has an interest in the character. Puberty has been hit.
Whoa! That was dirty.
He's a man now. He's beyond me.
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Perfect. So now that you've seen that, additionally, Rahk, you will notice this as well. At least the two of them. You have not seen the procession, the parsonage coming this way. But you can see them.
I don't know what's going on, but I'm just going to try and self-cast Dispel Magic, because I figure if I casted this...
You're muted.
You muted yourself?
Yeah, you actually muted.
I wasn't tabbed into Zoom. I want to try and cast Dispel Magic, because I figure if this was me or the scythe, that I can try and dispel it.
Sure. You give me a D1000, sir. This is the last one on you, if you're curious.
Thanks.
And this one's from Rangorf, whatever it is.
878. Invisibility, please.
Explosive flatulence.
Yeah, she's kind of just holding the scythe between her fingers right now.
I don't like that.
Me neither.
I need you to what is the next location that you would teleport to?
Away from here.
Yeah, but where? I'm curious.
Somewhere safe.
Yeah, no. If I'm trying to think of any place that I would consider safe that wasn't in a building, because I know I'm not going to fit.
Well, you wouldn't be aware of that. You'd just be, remember, this is wild magic. This is just taking the first thing out of your head. I'm assuming you would want to be in the church.
No, I think I'm still aware of my size. Like, I'm
well, you've the
running
goal to
through
get out of
places
town, right?
that
like
are out of town.
So
But
where
I
would you go?
also don't want to go to Sasserine. I'm trying to think of any other place I've been out of town that was further away.
Did you ever travel to Red Gorge?
Once.
What's your knee jerk? What's the knee jerk
Um,
reaction to go to if you're already going away from town?
Where is
Just the
the Death
next step?
Scar? Yeah. Because
Okay.
the Death Scar is the only other place I've been that's out of town, and I don't know its relative proximity.
The Demon Scar. You want to go to the Demon
Yeah,
Scar.
yeah.
The-
You want to be a 100-foot tall naked woman.
I'm significantly bigger than everything else in the Demon Scar.
Okay, all right. Well, friend, if that's your knee jerk and you know that it's going away, you can thank Brock for this. 878 is repeated, no targets. All spells cast during the previous round are recast again simultaneously at absolutely no cost, affecting all of the new targets around you.
They're not within 20 feet, are they? The people on the road?
No, but your allies are.
Yeah, that's fine.
And
They
you
can
just
come with.
You just teleported them. No, not yourself. It teleports them. Oh, it's actually it is. It's all three of you.
Yeah, wouldn't it be all three of us?
Yeah, it is. It's all three. Well, because it says it's not self, but it's the same spells. So functionally, that's how that's going to work. Since it's the
Okay.
spell itself targeted.
Yeah, please don't just drop us off in the Demon Scar.
The three of you are immediately teleported to a location known as the Demon Scar. Two of you have never been here. The third, Thelsa, has. She's seen this darkened and chilling zone, the horrors of which it actually is. It's nasty, to say the least. Let's pull this up here. We'll go.
It's away from their gaze, though, and that's why I was panicking.
That's what I wanted. Perfect.
Yeah. The spell to increase my size was not in the same round, was it? And if it did, is it increased size or is it just go to X size?
Okay, so your what? So ask me that again. I'm sorry, I was rereading.
I
the
just
spell.
want to know if I casted the two wild magics in the same round.
I mean, for all intents and purposes, the spell itself was not finishing. Like, you cast it, you finished the semantic, or excuse me, the somatic and vocal component to it, which is very, very easy, mind you. It's nearly an immediate action. And seeing that it wasn't working immediately, you went to the next spell. So while it was still in trigger phase, you shifted. Yeah, I'm gonna call it both spells.
So am I growing again?
No, you are not growing again. However, your allies are.
God damn it.
Your clothing and or armor will snap. It's not going to destroy any kind of like actual armor you have. It's just going to destroy the leather bindings. But you size out of your clothing immediately, and the three of you stand before the Demon Scar, a twisted, malevolent waste of hiss, smoke, and evil. You hear all sorts of noises, but everything changes. So does your periphery. The three of you now stand towering at around 40 to 50 feet tall. Rahk being the tallest of the three of you, standing at nearly 65 feet. You can see movement swirling below. Your belongings are at your feet, for the record.
I'm just gonna look at Jacob and just hand him the toothpick of a scythe I have in my hand. I don't want this anymore. I don't know what it does, but get it out of my hands.
Yeah,
It's twisting and changing everything I try and do.
yeah. He'll take the staff and just kind of hold it, and then kind of, glance at Rahk, and
I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew it. You couldn't not. Immediately looks up at Rahk, looks down at Rock's rock. That's how it is.
Rocks,
every time.
rocks.
the rumors are true.
God damn it. Alright, well, first things first, I'm gonna scoop up my shit off the ground. And, can I see Cauldron from here?
Mm-mm. You cannot.
damn it.
It's
We're far.
very, very far. This is past Red Gorge.
Where are we,
I'm
Elsa?
gonna take a second to look around. This is the Demon Scar.
Well, that's just fantastic.
She says very nonchalantly.
Yeah, this place doesn't make me super uncomfortable. I've been here before. I know that the guys around here know my face at least a little bit, but that you don't want to fuck with them.
Why would you have been here before?
Long story.
That's not really the concern right now, Jacob.
No, the concern.
For what it's worth, Rahk, for all intents and purposes, while your dexterity has significantly dropped, your strength has gone up. I would say by 12.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, you jump and land on something, it's gonna go splat real quick.
Well, my real question is, what is my speed modified by?
Your speed is entirely modified by just your sheer size because of your class levels and everything that you have in movement is that. But you're enormous. You're not just merely 65 feet tall. You're probably in the wheelhouse of, I'm guessing, like 80,000 pounds, 90,000 pounds, maybe like 160,000 pounds.
Yeah, there's actual footprints in the ground where we stand.
Yes, you leave a trench.
Well,
There are some bad demons here, but like with this size, we could probably combat them. But I don't know how long this is gonna last, why it's happening, and why we're here.
right. The why is important, but frankly, I believe of more importance right now is Cort's health, and, well, we don't seem to be anywhere near Cauldron.
No, we're very far. I tried to dispel the magic, and it brought us here, so I don't quite want to dispel the magic again, because I don't know where it's gonna take us next.
Well, to be fair,
Be right back. Keep going.
You thought it was because you were holding this. Now you're not. Reason dictates that we should at least make an attempt. But can we maybe not do it here? One of these days, you're going to have to explain how you know about the Demon Scar, why you've been here before. But which way is home?
I'm just gonna turn and point because I came here by running in my weird form when I was trying to take it over. So I know the way back to some degree, and I'm just gonna look and just point towards the horizon in X direction.
Well, I suppose we can start moving.
I
Well-
don't know if you've noticed, but none of us are wearing clothes.
Oh, I've noticed.
I hope this doesn't last forever, but I don't know.
It would be really unfortunate if it did.
I have the capability to enlarge person, but that is not what I casted when this happened, or when you guys joined me in the size growth.
Well, hopefully this is temporary. Otherwise, I'm going to have to spend a lot of gold on a tailor.
However, it would be the first 3 actual giants I've ever heard of. Just, a thing.
Okay. Right now, we just need to go ahead and start heading towards home. A little further away. Marching order. Rahk, you're in the front. I'm in the middle. Thelsa, you're in the back.
You say marching order like I won't be running.
Well, I'll be running after you, but, at least this way, the only thing I can see is, well, your back. Back. Just your back. And Thelsa will only be seeing my back, and
I'm just gonna put my hand on Jacob's shoulder and cast dispel magic just to see what happens. And I'm praising that I don't have another wild magic and I make him even bigger.
oh, you cunt.
The worst part is he's gonna get small again, and then the two of us are still gonna be huge, and we gotta deal with that shit.
If it works, I'll try it again.
Enlarge is a weird way to say baleful polymorph.
Baleful polymorph would turn you into whatever another giant of this race looks like, or this size, if it were to do that.
I'd have to look at what enlarged person actually does here, because I feel like they're at the upper echelon. double the growth of the humanoid creature, doubling its height and weight. Okay.
It doesn't stack with itself, but it doesn't explicitly say it doesn't stack with other spells that increase your size.
Yeah, I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I don't think it's going to size you up. You are, for all intents and purposes, you are at the highest you're ever going to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it
if
says-
it did work, it would turn Rahk to 130 feet and his weight to about 400.
400,000 or 500,000 pounds.
Yeah,
It says it increases the size category to the next larger one. If there's no next larger one, then I would expect probably nothing happens. Unless, I mean,
there's always larger size categories.
Technically, yeah, there are. But in this case, because you already have a spell that is effectively enlarging, it's not going to layer over, even if it does something different. Like in this case, if you would have had enlarged person on, it would have essentially increased the size of your weapons with you, the rest of your body. But this
Yeah.
wild magic itself is it's actually just causing everything to break off of you and maintain a different size, its actual size.
All right, I'm gonna try and cast Dispel Magic
Sure.
on Jacob.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm the fucking guinea pig here.
Yeah, you're the one talking.
Okay, you can use Dispel Magic to end one ongoing spell that has been cast on a creature or object, to temporarily suppress the magical abilities of a magic item, or to counter another spellcaster's spell. Okay, then yeah, in this case, you Dispel Magic. Casting one time is standard action. Is there no save for this at all?
No, it just has to break the spell DC, I believe.
Oh, that's not super hard. Will you do that for me? 1d20 plus your caster level. Yeah, this isn't hard. You did it. You beat the DC of it.
That's thankful.
Yeah, it's not very, very high DC. In this case, you immediately begin turning back. You shift
Jacob does.
back. Correct. Jacob, you feel your body decreasing in size. Remotely after she touched your shoulder. It requires verbal and somatic components, but you'll see that in the course of 3 seconds, whatever she seemed to mutter, it immediately begins shifting your body back to its original size. The world becomes a lot smokier. The haze seems to drift over your head. And you notice, because you notice these things for some reason, that the smaller you get, the larger Rahk's genitals become.
Well, I mean, they are somewhat of a forest canopy at this point. You know, boy needs to go ahead and invest in personal grooming habits. But no, as he starts shrinking down and it becomes a little more apparent what's going on, he's going to be like, Carol Baskins, you bitch!
I'm gonna kill you with a tiger. I'm going to.
As I hear him start yelling, I'm gonna look at Rahk and say,
Hey, it
now,
only takes 2 stimulus
I
checks to
could
get a tiger.
change you back now, or you could see if you could pick him up and throw him all the way back to Cauldron.
I heard that!
I mean, I'm not opposed.
Oh, dear God!
Why? You can't see there. You can only see their ankles. The haze and smoke is above the area. Why,
Oh, good.
why a small version of you is suddenly Hank Hill's dad? Like, that's what you've just fucking become. I don't get it.
The only pain I'm in is propane.
All right, I'm gonna scoop him up and shot put him.
Please.
Just do it like when they do the ball toss in the Olympics and they spin around a couple times and
The
then
hammer
launch it.
throw.
Yeah, the hammer throw, and just see how far you can get him.
I need to know
There's
if
a
you're,
C somewhere.
if you're actually doing it.
I mean, I'm really tempted.
He's like 3 bad words away from.
My strength is at 36 right now, so you know, real tempted.
Yeah, and here I am just naked, afraid, and clutching onto his scythe.
Will, use your rage
Not the first
powers.
time you've been in that position.
Use your rage and then throw.
Oh, you're right. I'm not even raging right now.
Yeah, that's gross. That's fucking gross.
Yeah, if
Let's
I throw a
don't-
greater rage, I'm at 42 strength.
Let's see the amount of G-force we can pack onto your face as you're gliding over to Red Gorge.
It'll literally tear your skin off midair.
I could just slough.
Thelsa, fix this!
I'm gonna put my hand on Rahk's shoulder and say, "So, back down to short. I can teleport us back home
I
once
suppose.
this is cleared." And yeah, I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and
Okay.
cast Dispel Magic again.
Got it. You cast Dispel Magic. You succeed. You break the DC. Even rolling a 1, you're going to succeed.
Okay, I won't bother rolling next time. I just figured you wanted nat 1.
Nope.
If I nat 1, it wouldn't work. But
I didn't know what your... I guess I knew what your bonus was. I know what your caster level is, but it's good to see it. You are going to beat it pretty much every time. Unless I just have a wild hair about the situation. But in this case, yeah, you find yourself immediately shifting. It doesn't really take a lot, but as you begin to size back down, you notice that the world begins to grow this haze and smoke up again about you. Now the world is significantly more daunting. What you saw before, the trees that ushered into the line, they formed a bit of a cage around this place. In the smoke and the fog, this green mist now swallows you back down. And where he was previously grabbing onto your ankle, he's now just standing almost within your quote-unquote bubble of personal space. Your belongings are at your feet. All of the clothing is in shreds. And now you hear movement. And it's not Thelsa. You do hear noises coming from Thelsa, and it was probably something that Jakob would have heard first. When you're standing that close to someone that large, you actually hear the binding and the ripcording of their muscles in their legs and the ankle, the snap and pop of gristle and grit. You might even hear the blood flush through the body. But in this case, what you hear is away from you. It is away from Thelsa. Where you were previously 70 plus feet and towering over the area, you've shrunk back down, and now something is, you feel as if it is beginning to shift your way, moving through the mist and smoke.
Gonna ready my weapon.
I'm gonna shrink myself back down.
Okay. You notice that you can't see them. You can't see either of them. They've
Yeah, the
stopped
fog
talking.
is
You
thick
notice
here.
that old Cotton Hill is no longer bitching at the base of your leg. He's remaining rather quiet. You're not sure why that is, but typically when he's gone quiet, he either has a lot to say or something bad is about to happen. So you waste no time. You shift. You dispel yourself down to a regular and normal size. For the record, if you had rolled 1 lower, the spell that was going to trigger wasn't teleport. It was to turn your body permanently green. So can you imagine
I would
yourself...
have been the Hulk.
Yeah, you would have been the Green Giant.
Jolly Green Giant,
Yeah.
of course. But
And all
not
of a
so
sudden,
jolly.
somehow, Captain Kirk shows up in our game.
50 feet tall and very, very green. But luckily you teleported. In this case, as your body begins to shift down and downscale, you see the same thing. This mist and smoke begins to swirl up over you and swallow your body back down to the ground, and you can see your allies. When you arrive to the ground, this is when you see that Rahk and Jakob are holding onto weapons, focusing away from you. And it's not out of a courtesy. You hear it. Hoof fall. Something gritting as it moves closer and closer.
And I already know what it is. I don't remember its name, but Thelsa would.
Okay.
The type of demon this is.
What kind of demon is it? What could you describe? And do you tell them?
I'd start gathering. Actually, I didn't have much as far as belongings were on me because I never carried anything on me. But I'd be picking up the few things I had, the sword primarily, and the tatters of the robes.
Okay.
We have to go. That's the equivalent of a demon centaur with a spear that's 3 times the size of any building you've seen. So, come here.
Yeah, Jacob's just going to back up towards the voice of Thelsa and kind of reach out once he sees a bit of mottled green and rest a hand on Rahk's shoulder.
Grab
Yes,
your gear.
Thelsa, we do need to go. We need to go now. We need to go from where you brought us.
Grab your gear.
What gear? The only gear I had was the clothes on my back and this.
As you continue to have this mild bickering and you're quickly gathering your things, Rahk, you're watching on, and you see the tip of a spear start to shift and cut through the mist and smoke. The spear itself appears to be not even so much a spear as much as it is a glaive. This bit of bladed metal, black but stained with blood, seems to just cut through like a shark's fin at the top of the ocean. And it glides past your body. It's probably about 3 feet, equally between you and Jakob alike, as Jakob is discussing this with Elsa, quickly gathering her things. And it continues to move before it finally breaks onto a black staff. And you can see clenched knuckles wrapped around. Do you say or do anything?
Charge it.
Probably no. I'm gonna stay quiet.
It doesn't take
Rage
much.
try to kick it.
Even your latent perception, Jakob, is going to depict this. Thelsa, you're going to see it as well.
Yep. This is a Vivacia.
Bavakia.
Yes.
Like the Greek dish?
No. A Vivacia. But, yeah. As soon as I'm able to get close enough to them and they have picked up whatever they have brought, I'm gonna put a hand on either of their shoulders and, I believe, teleport.
Okay, will you show me teleport? Cue it up so I can actually see what it's like. I need to see if you're capable of doing this in its presence. On the gates. No and yes upon object. On standard action, personal and touch. You and touched objects are touched. Willing creatures. Okay. Duration is instantaneous. 100 miles away.
Per caster level.
Okay, so you'll get back to exactly where you want to be.
Yeah.
Okay. You can bring along objects as long as it doesn't exceed your maximum load. You may also bring one additional willing medium or smaller creature as long as it is equivalent per 3 caster levels. A large creature counts as 2 mediums. So, in this case, you have enough for 6. 6 caster levels will take 2 people. But you just have enough to teleport the rest of your party as well. That's good. That's good to know. Okay, and you have more than studied carefully. You live there. So this should be easy enough. As you prep the cast, you see... First you smell this bizarre hiss of breath. And you hear this guttural roar as it just sort of pours out. And as the mist starts to break around the face of this creature, and I'm sure some of you have at least Googled what a Vivacia looks like. If you have not, I can provide that in just a moment. But it breathes out the moment that you begin to teleport. It breathes out this cloud that immediately takes shape and shifts into what appears to be screaming ghosts, apparitions, twisted abominations, writhing from its throat in green fire as it consumes the mist and smoke around you. You feel it begin to singe your skin in the moments that you're teleported back, directly back to your town, your home, a safe haven, where something darker could still yet lie. But in that moment, the 3 of you nearly died. Or at least would have had to make saves so you didn't die. You may not know the utter urgency of it all, But in this case, there is importance to it, and Thelsa definitely knows it. Now, whether or not you recognize that threat as such, totally up to you. But there is some respect duly noted for that, since she knows where it is, and what it was capable of, and she quickly got your asses out of there. You return back. The bathhouse. Misted and smoking, your bodies rise to this point, this precipice, this new high. And you see the arm hairs singed off. If you had a beard coming in, it's no more. Your eyebrows, eyelashes probably tepid and slightly removed. Likely even naturally patting at your own skin.